You know what nobody tells you about planting trees? That some of them are basically high-maintenance divas that'll have you out there every weekend with a rake, a ladder, and regret. But what if I told you there are 7 trees that basically take care of themselves, look incredible year-round, and won't turn your yard into a constant cleanup project? Stick around because number 5 is probably growing wild in your neighborhood right now, and you've been walking past a gold mine. Hey there, garden friend. Welcome back to Timeless Gardens, where we make beautiful landscaping work for your life, not against it. And if you're new here, you just stumbled into the corner of the internet where we keep gardening real, budget-friendly, and honestly, pretty effortless. I'm so glad you're here today because we're talking about something that'll change the way you think about trees forever. Now before we dig in, do me a quick favor. See that subscribe button down there? Go ahead and tap it, then hit that notification bell because I drop a new video every week that'll save you time, money, and a whole lot of backyard frustration. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Alright, let's get into these 7 absolute champions. So here's the thing about small trees. Most people plant them thinking they're getting something manageable, something neat. Then 6 months later, they're dealing with fallen fruit that attracts wasps, leaves that clog every gutter, or those spiky seed pods that feel like stepping on Legos in your own yard. Been there? Yeah, me too. That's exactly why today's list is different. These 7 trees stay compact, they mind their business, and they won't have you doing yard work every single weekend. We're talking clean canopies, minimal drop, and maximum curb appeal. Let's jump right in. Tree number 1. The Kousa dogwood, but here's the twist nobody mentions. Now, you've probably heard of dogwoods. They're everywhere, right? But the Kousa variety is like the responsible older sibling that actually has its life together. While the traditional flowering dogwood is gorgeous, it's also a bit of a mess maker with those petals everywhere and disease issues that'll have you playing plant doctor. The Kousa dogwood? Completely different energy. This tree maxes out around 15 to 20 feet, which is perfect for smaller yards or tucking near your home without worrying about it swallowing your house in 10 years. But here's the beautiful part, the flowers aren't actually flowers. They're bracts, these modified leaves that look like creamy white stars appearing in late spring, which means they hold their shape way longer than regular blooms and they don't carpet your lawn when they're done. Come fall, you get these raspberry-looking fruits. Now, they're edible and actually pretty tasty if you're adventurous, but here's the kicker, they don't drop and create a mess like crabapples or mulberries. Birds absolutely love them, so they get cleaned up naturally. You're basically running a little bird cafe without the cleanup duty. The leaves turn this gorgeous reddish purple in autumn, then drop all at once in a clean sweep. One afternoon of raking and you're done. Plus, the bark exfoliates in this beautiful mottled pattern that gives you winter interest when everything else looks dead. It's like 4 seasons of beauty with 1 season of minimal work. Tree number 2. Japanese maple, specifically the upright varieties, and here's what the garden centers won't tell you. Japanese maples have this reputation for being fussy, delicate, expensive. And yeah, some of them are. But the upright varieties, particularly ones like Bloodgood or Osakazuki, are tougher than people think and incredibly tidy. These trees grow slowly, we're talking maybe a foot or 2 a year, which means you're not constantly pruning to keep them in check. They typically stay under 20 feet, and their canopy is naturally balanced. You don't get those weird awkward branches shooting out everywhere that need correcting. The leaves are delicate and lacy, almost ornamental on their own, and when they drop in fall, they're so fine and lightweight that they basically disintegrate into your lawn. I'm serious. You can mulch right over them with your mower, or they'll break down in your beds without smothering other plants. Here's the secret sauce, they don't produce messy fruits, seed pods, or sticky sap. Nothing. They just exist beautifully and quietly. Plant one near a patio or walkway and you'll never deal with staining, slipping, or constant sweeping. The spring foliage comes in with these incredible reds and purples, then deepens through summer, and absolutely explodes with color in fall. It's a living piece of art that requires almost zero cleanup. Just make sure you give it some afternoon shade in really hot climates and you're golden. Hey, quick pause. If you're finding this helpful, go ahead and hit that like button for me. It actually helps more people discover these kinds of practical tips. And drop a comment below telling me which tree you're most excited about or what's currently making a mess in your yard. I read every single one and I love hearing your stories. Alright, back to it because number 3 is a total underdog. Tree number 3. The Hornbeam, and this is the tree that should be famous but somehow isn't. Most people have never heard of Hornbeam, which is wild because this tree is an absolute workhorse. There are two main types, the American Hornbeam and the European Hornbeam. Both are fantastic, but I'm particularly fond of the European variety for residential settings. This tree stays around 30 feet tall but can easily be kept smaller with light pruning, and here's the magic, the canopy is naturally dense and uniform. You're not getting those sparse, patchy areas that look awkward. The leaves are oval, deeply veined, and create this beautiful texture. In fall, they turn a buttery yellow that's softer and more elegant than the in-your-face reds and oranges of other trees. But here's why it makes this list. Hornbeams hold onto their leaves well into winter in a process called marcescence. Those dried leaves stay attached, providing winter interest and a gentle rustling sound in the breeze, then drop in early spring right before new growth. When they do drop, they're dry and crispy, breaking down super fast. No soggy leaf piles, no staining your driveway. They produce these small nutlets that are enclosed in papery bracts. Totally unnoticeable. Won't litter your yard, won't sprout a million baby trees everywhere. Plus, the bark is smooth and gray with this sinuous, muscular look that's genuinely beautiful in winter. Plant this near a sitting area and you've got year-round structure without year-round maintenance. Tree number 4. Crape Myrtle, but only if you choose the right variety and resist one common mistake. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Crape myrtles are everywhere, they're not unique. But hear me out because most people are doing them wrong and missing out on how truly low maintenance they can be. First, choose a smaller variety. We're talking about dwarf or semi-dwarf types that max out around 10 to 15 feet, like the Acoma, Tonto, or Natchez varieties. These stay manageable without that brutal topping that people mistakenly call crape murder. When you top a crape myrtle, you're creating weak branch structures and ruining its natural elegant shape. Don't do it. Just choose the right size from the start. Here's why they're so clean. The flowers, those gorgeous clusters that bloom for months in summer, don't drop a ton of petals. They kind of dry up and fall away gradually without creating a blanket on the ground. The seed pods that form are tiny and barely noticeable. They don't pop open and scatter everywhere like some trees. The bark exfoliates in this incredible cinnamon and cream pattern that's stunning in winter, and when it peels, the pieces are papery thin. They blow away or disintegrate quickly. The leaves are small and drop all at once in late fall. One good raking session and you're done for the year. Plant them in full sun, give them decent drainage, and they practically thrive on neglect. Drought tolerant once established, resistant to most pests, and blooming from summer straight into fall. That's months of color with minimal fuss. Tree number 5. The Serviceberry, and this is that goldmine I mentioned earlier. You've probably seen this tree growing wild along roadsides, in parks, or naturalized areas and never thought twice about it. That's the Serviceberry, also called Juneberry or shadbush, and it's one of the most underutilized trees in home landscaping. This tree is native to North America, which means it's naturally adapted to a huge range of climates and basically takes care of itself. It grows to about 15 to 25 feet depending on the variety, with a naturally upright, oval shape that doesn't need much pruning. Early spring, before most trees have even leafed out, the Serviceberry explodes with clouds of delicate white flowers. We're talking show-stopping, neighbors asking questions level of beautiful. Then comes the fruit, small, dark purple berries that taste like a mild, sweet blueberry. Here's the thing, though. You can eat them, make jam, toss them in smoothies, but if you don't harvest them, the birds will clean them off the tree within days. Natural cleanup crew, once again. The leaves are a nice oval shape, turning brilliant orange and red in fall, and when they drop, they're light and break down easily. No thick, leathery leaves clogging everything up. The bark is smooth with vertical striping, giving you that winter interest again. And because it's native, you're supporting local wildlife, pollinators, and birds without creating extra work for yourself. This tree checks every single box and costs a fraction of what you'd pay for ornamental imports. Tree number 6. The Stewartia, which is basically the tree for people who want something truly special without the drama. Stewartia is not a household name, and honestly, that's part of its charm. This is a tree for people who want their landscape to feel a little more curated, a little less cookie-cutter. It grows slowly to about 20 to 30 feet with a pyramidal shape that naturally stays balanced and elegant. In mid to late summer, when most trees are just doing their green thing, Stewartia produces these stunning white camellia-like flowers with bright yellow centers. Each flower only lasts a day or two, but the tree produces them continuously over several weeks, and when they drop, they're single petals that blow away or disintegrate almost immediately. No mess, just beauty. The fall color is outstanding, ranging from orange to deep red, sometimes even purplish tones depending on your climate. But the real showstopper is the bark. As the tree matures, the bark exfoliates in irregular patches, revealing this mosaic of gray, brown, cream, and cinnamon underneath. It's like living art in your yard, and it gets better every year. Stewartia doesn't produce significant seeds or pods, doesn't attract pests, and the leaves drop cleanly in fall without creating a heavy mat. It prefers a bit of afternoon shade and consistent moisture, especially when young, but once established, it's remarkably low fuss for the level of impact it delivers. If you want something uncommon that'll make your yard feel like a secret garden, this is it. Tree number 7. The Redbud, specifically the native eastern redbud or one of its compact cultivars. Redbuds are one of those trees that people either absolutely love or overlook completely, but once you understand how tidy they are, you'll wonder why they're not in every single yard. The eastern redbud grows to around 20 to 30 feet with a spreading, vase-shaped canopy. In early spring, before the leaves even show up, the entire tree becomes covered in these vibrant magenta-pink flowers that bloom right on the branches and even the trunk. It's called cauliflowery, and it's absolutely stunning. The flowers don't create a mess when they drop because they're so small and light, they basically vanish into the soil. The leaves are heart-shaped, turning a nice yellow in fall before dropping. They're relatively small and decompose quickly, especially if you mulch over them. After the flowers, you get these flat seed pods that hang on the tree through winter. Now, some people think pods equal mess, but redbud pods are paper-thin, lightweight, and they drop gradually over time, blowing away easily or breaking down without creating a pile. There are also cultivars like the Ruby Falls or Lavender Twist that stay even smaller, around 6 to 10 feet, perfect for tiny yards or planting near patios. These weeping or compact forms give you all the beauty of a full-size redbud in a fraction of the space, and they're just as low maintenance. Plus, redbuds are native, drought-tolerant once established, and they actually fix nitrogen in the soil, which benefits the plants around them. You're basically planting a tree that improves your yard while asking for almost nothing in return. So there you have it, 7 small trees that stay clean, look incredible, and won't turn your weekends into a never-ending battle with rakes, tarps, and regret. Whether you want something showy like the Serviceberry, elegant like the Stewartia, or reliable like the Hornbeam, there's an option here that'll fit your yard and your lifestyle. Now here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these trees, do a little research on which varieties grow best in your zone, and make it happen this planting season. Future you, the one relaxing on the patio instead of cleaning up tree debris, is going to be so grateful. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed to Timeless Gardens so you don't miss next week's video. I've got something really good coming about perennials that basically plant themselves and come back bigger every year. You're not going to want to miss it. Hit that like button if this was helpful, drop a comment telling me which tree you're adding to your wish list, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy planting, and remember, your garden should work for you, not the other way around.